Hello, welcome back to the Beef Medium Podcast. I'm your host, Zach, aka Snack with Zach, and I'm joined by the man who I once bought a nose ring for to piss off my parents, my brother, and co-host Matt.
Look at the disappointment.
I know,
yeah.
Just so disappointing. No body modifications in this household whatsoever.
None.
KingSchratz is
on
today.
What a guy.
I mean, he's been on YouTube since 2006. He hasn't been making content since 2006, but this has got to be, I don't know, would you say this is the most seasoned content creator we've had on here so far?
I think so. He's been doing it for a minute. He was making content on YouTube as early as 2018. Didn't really make the switch until 2020 when the pandemic hit, and he had to pivot from being a personal trainer. And now he makes content full-time on YouTube, TikTok, everything.
He does, and he's really a machine when it comes to the content creation. He does long-form videos on YouTube every single day, as well as the short-form videos for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, all of that stuff. So it's cool. He gives you a lot of advice on content creation, which is awesome, but there are some little cool snippets, too, about pop culture. We get into Game of Thrones, all sorts of other things as well. So it's a great episode. Without further ado, please welcome KingSchratz. 2006 is when you first created your YouTube page. You haven't been making content since 06.
I started making content on YouTube, I would say maybe 2018, but regularly I started at the end. The pandemic was when I started.
Like, that's when you started taking it, like, really seriously.
Yeah, the YouTube page I made was just my personal YouTube page that, like, when YouTube first came out. I never changed it.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about 20 years. Not that you've been making content, obviously, for 20 years, but when I was on your YouTube the other day, I was like, 06 is basically like a badge of honor because...
It was my founder's page. I still have the same email address, so it was when YouTube first came out, and I was like, oh, this is a cool app. So I joined it, back in the old days when you had to go on the desktop, and it just turned from that to my content page. Just like my Instagram was the same thing. The whole KingSchratz thing, I opened that page in 2011, but I didn't start making content on it. I didn't start making content with the intent to make content. All this stuff was my personal page, and it just turned into it.
Yeah, what was the jumping point? Because you were making a couple of videos here and there 8 years ago. They were sort of vlog style, just like you talking about life and stuff like that, relationship problems, all those things. And then it's like seems like you just went straight into fast food mukbangs, sort of.
I had content on IG starting, I think maybe 2017, 2018 was when I was just screwing around back then. But it was during 2020 that, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I owned my own personal training studios up until I stopped doing it to do this.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah. So during 2020, I couldn't work. Everything was shut down. So I made a story post and a post that's basically said, if this post gets like 5,000 likes, I'll order a shakaroni and eat it on YouTube. And it ended up getting like 15 to 20,000 likes. So I was like, oh, I guess I got to do that now.
Yeah, that's really interesting. The shakaroni specifically is the jumping off point for all of that as well.
My very first YouTube video for like the mukbang, and that was a shakaroni.
And then you continued it just on what was it, like a weekly basis at first, right? Or I guess it's 2020.
It was sporadic, like maybe a couple of times a week. But the videos back then I thought was a lot. I was getting like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. I was like, oh, people like this. After maybe like a year of doing that, it kind of just took off a little bit.
It's really cool because you have a really interesting perspective from the standpoint of, a lot of different ways to blend in the fitness, which you obviously still do, but you do like the one big meal is one of your sort of signature things. And it was the duality of like, hey, I'm really physically active, like super shredded, lost a bunch of weight, but also here's me eating 12,000 calories of KFC and Taco Bell. Like, not a lot of people do that. And for me, who balances the act of being physically fit and also a massive fat ass, it's very validating.
You can be both. I wouldn't recommend the 12,000 calories because I did the eating challenges thing maybe for like 6 months, but I had to quit that because it started to catch up to me.
I mean, at that point, it's inevitable. But what motivated you to do those in the first place?
Honestly, it's everything that I do is usually just an extension of who I am. I never tried to make content based off of, I think maybe people will like to see this. Two things that I'm really into are working out and eating. So it just came naturally for me to kind of just include aspects of both.
Was it always the fast food thing, or was that something you gravitated more towards for a content standpoint? I know Taco Bell's a childhood favorite, but...
I ate a lot of fast food as a kid. Yeah. mainly because where I live, there's just a ton of them. And I think fast food in the 90s was just great. It was just S tier back then. And then I stopped eating it for a long time, but it just became a thing where, for whatever reason, people that watch my videos, the niche that I have is they gravitate more towards chain restaurants. You know, when you look at your analytics and it says, well, you can go to a 5-star steakhouse and people aren't really watching it. But if you go to Chili's, then people watch it.
And everybody loves Chili's now.
I'm like, okay, I'll go to Chili's. I've changed my perspective on it because I was one of those people. I think growing up in the tri-state area, you know, I'm from New Jersey my whole life. Like, we frown on pizza places that aren't like mom and pop, that aren't, you know, like real pizza places. Like, oh, I wouldn't be caught dead in a Papa John's. But, you know, it's actually pretty good.
Where specifically in Jersey did you grow up?
Bergen County.
Okay.
I've lived here my whole life.
Where specifically in Bergen County?
I from Garfield.
Okay.
I lived there my whole life. I only went to college in Iowa for 5 years, and then I came home.
We ask because our mom is from Park Ridge.
Oh, okay, yeah. Park Ridge is very familiar with Park Ridge.
Yeah, I saw when you were at Shake Shack the other day trying the Dubai chocolate in Paramus Park. There used to be a Lego store in Paramus Park that we went to.
I remember it.
Yeah, regularly. So we
used to take the bus up there back when that mall actually had people there.
I'm sure. Is it one of the dead malls now?
Oh, man. The lights aren't even on in half of it.
Oh, it's so bummer. Do you feel like being like a Jersey native has shaped a lot of like what you do in terms of like the social content? Like, do you think it's kind of like been the most formative thing for you? You've done a lot throughout like the course of your online career. How does the Jersey thing come into play?
Definitely the way I talk. I get way too much stuff for that one. Anytime I grew up in Bergen County, so when I say things like mozzarella, I get so much crap for it, but I don't know how to say it any other way. You know what I mean?
I do, because again, mom's from Jersey. Our dad is not, and so
does she mutz it up?
I think she used to.
She got rid of it.
Like not when we were alive.
Well,
but
I mean, they're like, my mom's side of the family is Jewish in New Jersey, so I don't think they were having a lot of mozzarella and Italian food growing up.
There's like verified, confirmed from the family. My dad comes in being Italian from Medford, Mass, which is from like just north of Boston.
Oh, he's a Boston guy.
Yeah, and so he would sit there, and I guess the prime currency of love is talking shit in our family. So my dad was hitting her with like the what exit are you from, like all that shit, and then once it came to like the prosciutto and that's
what I'm saying. It's prosciutto. I've never in my life called it prosciutto. I can't even do it. It doesn't roll off the tongue right.
Honestly, it sounds very like bouge when you say prosciutto at this point. It just sounds, I think it just sounds incorrect hearing it with the Jersey isms.
I'm one of those people, and I don't say this negatively towards anybody else, but I'm just really myself. Like,
you are.
When I make videos, it's that same person when you turn the camera on is the same person that if you saw me walking down the street. Yeah. So I would definitely say Jersey is a part of that because I'm from here. I was born here. I probably will live here the rest of my life. So I would have to say, yeah, when it comes to that, I'm just a Jersey kid through and through, and I'm proud of that. You know, so I wear it with honor.
It's okay to be in that state too, where you are happy with where you are. You know, like I ended up moving back home. Do I love the town I grew up in? No, but when it comes to Massachusetts too, I like being in northeastern Massachusetts in the North Shore. It's somewhere that and as somebody who likes to travel a lot, like I am very comfortable in the North Shore. It's where I feel the most connected to culture as well. And if it's worked, I mean, it has worked for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah, the day I have to start doing something that's not me is probably the one thing is I enjoy making content. You know, I enjoy just being myself and kind of just turning on the camera and seeing what happens. Yeah. And that's just a part of that. And the Jersey thing is a part of that too. Yeah. I just, the ability to just talk and talk and talk is probably because of where I'm from, you know.
I don't know the back end of Instagram analytics as much now, but are you able to see where a majority of your viewers are?
New York.
Are a lot of they're from the New York area?
Yeah, New York. Like I'm from the New York area, technically speaking. So the large majority of my viewers on IG are from TikTok as well and YouTube. YouTube is a little different now. It's definitely become a little more national and because of certain videos worldwide, but my shorts form content, which is like your IG and your TikTok, has definitely been more predominantly New York, and TikTok for whatever reason, like the Houston, Dallas area.
It's somewhere about Houston and Dallas because mine's the same way. I've got Chicago, I've got New York, I've got Houston, Dallas, Austin. I honestly think it goes down to the fast food too, because when I was spending time I spent a lot of time in Houston a couple years ago, and it was the concentration of like all of those chain brands. Is like, if you thought Jersey was on a level, Texas is on another fucking level. They're like, every corner they got everything, and for some reason that's, I think, what resonates with them the most.
All of the places that we don't have in New Jersey, if I've had them because I've been to Texas.
Exactly. It's like the
Whataburger. I had In-N-Out in Texas for some unforeseen reason. They had a couple of franchises back then, and a few other like burrito franchises. Jack in the Box. I've only had it in Texas.
The best Jack in the Box I've had is in Texas, funnily enough.
I love Texas, man. I don't know why, but I've always loved Texas. They're like their own world down there, and they have their state flag on everything. It's just insane to me.
And did you know that I just learned this fact? Texas, it's basically like its own country anyway.
Yeah.
100%. Texas, if you were to turn it, so it's the widest point of it, if you were to turn it, I believe the southernmost part of the U.S., it would go into Canada. Like, that's how wide it is to get across, like, Texas. Does that even make sense to you?
I had to drive the length of Texas. We went on spring break to South Padre Island when I was in college.
Okay, cool.
And we drove from Iowa. So that's a straight shot taking I-35 all the way down. Yeah. And I remember when we got to Texas, we were in the north part of it. Like, oh, we finally made it to Texas. We still had 21 hours of driving.
It's fucking insane how physically massive it is. I think it's longer than going from the southernmost part of California to the northernmost.
I love it down there. If I had to live anywhere else, it'd probably be Texas.
A specific city?
I would want to live in like the outskirts of maybe like a Dallas or a Houston. I think the only thing that I don't like about New Jersey is that we have no room here. And I've always wanted like land.
Yeah. And
it's very hard to do that here.
Its cost of living is really just the biggest insane thing. Yeah. Because Massachusetts has the same issue where, you have like your 2-bedroom, Do you own a house or do you rent?
No, I have a house.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, good for you. I'm sure you got it a couple of years back before everything was insane. Back. Yeah. So
this same house is like tripled in value and I haven't done anything to it.
Exactly. It's wild. And so comparing that, or something here in Mass to like Texas is, you spend like $300,000 or $400,000 in Texas now, and you get like 5 or 6 bedrooms. You get like all this shit.
I've seen some of that. That's what got me is somehow you end up in those TikTok rabbit holes, and I ended up on Texas real estate talk. And there was just some houses in the Dallas area where it was like, $250,000, and they were like 4-bedroom and like 10 acres, and like I'm going in New Jersey, you couldn't buy anything for like less than 7.
Yeah,
anything.
It's nuts.
So it's just something about like having land. I grew up in a lot of apartments, a lot of like, like inner city type of stuff when I was younger. And just being able to have like a backyard was like a big deal for me. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine just having land, where you could just
space farm. Would you say that's your biggest beef with New Jersey? What is your biggest beef with New Jersey?
We're like sardines here. Definitely is probably my biggest beef because I hate traffic and it's impossible to not get stuck in it. It would either be that or the cost of living is just, it's insane.
Yeah.
But, it's like location. You get what you pay for because we're so close to everything. And we have access to everything.
The weather also, I feel like we are very, very good about that in the Northeast, at least generally.
I lived in Iowa for 5 years, man. If I wanted to go to Walmart, it took like an hour just to go to Walmart.
Yeah, what was that experience like? You were playing football in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a culture shock at first.
Okay.
Because the way people are out there is completely different. There's no access to really not like a lot of things. It's just everything just has like that small town feel. But I really enjoyed my time out there. I didn't think that I would, but once I kind of just said like, they're just people just like everybody else. But at first it was like, I'll give you an example. I remember going shopping. There's a place out there called Hy-Vee, which is like their version of like ShopRite or, know. And I was checking out my food. In New Jersey, a very rhetorical question is, how you doing? So when I went up to check my groceries out, I asked the lady, I said, how you doing? She told me how she was doing. she went into like a 10-minute spiel of like, she's like, oh, great. My husband's doing this. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing out here? Because out here, if I ask somebody that, they'll just give me a nod like, yeah, you good. So the people out there are a little more friendly, but I wouldn't have traded that experience for the world. It was good to get out of New Jersey and kind of realize that the world's a lot bigger than that. And that, in some places it's normal to drive 45 minutes if you want to go to Popeyes, or places like Fazoli's exist out there, which would
There's
never
so many
happen.
I haven't been out to that part of the country, and there are like plenty of places that I see that I would try. The joke I make is I've got two wolves in me, where I'm like, what? It's just a joke, Matt. Don't worry. This is my coming out as a furry. It's okay. And
Oh God.
so basically, part of me would live in somewhere like New York forever, right? Like a Manhattan. I did live in Manhattan, and I loved it. The other part of me is like I could live in in Iowa with just cornfields and like tons of space and distance between people, and be happy like that too. It's very, very difficult for me to deal with that duality.
That's why I think if it would be something like a Houston outskirts or something like that. But I agree with that. I love it here, but that small town life where people just weren't in a rush to do anything was kind of cool. It was kind of cool to be somewhere where people didn't act like everything had to be done in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's really something else. On the Texas side, did you ever, when you were in Texas, did you do the Texas barbecue?
I was in Austin for about a week, so I did a bunch of the barbecue places in Austin. I remember there was one place specifically called the Salt Lick, which was like I saw it on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. That was like probably one of my favorite ones I did when I was out there.
I fucking love that shit. Like, there's something about the Texas barbecue. There's a place called Cooper's Old Town Pit Barbecue, which is also in Austin. I believe it's off of Congress Street. And it's basically like cafeteria style. You go in to this restaurant and you just walk up to this counter that's literally like if you're at a cafeteria in a high school, and they've got like the meat, they've got the corn, they've got like all the sides and everything. You just go down with a tray.
Oh, so they just like serve it to you?
Yeah, and they just serve it to you. You and your friends get like 4 people. You bring it back to one of those giant, just, like picnic style tables, and you have a feast. It turns out we had a lot of barbecue places. Matt and I grew up in Atlanta. Born in Massachusetts, grew up in Atlanta. So we went to a lot of barbecue places that weren't like that were more just like come to the table, whatever. But there's another place in Chicago that does that too, which is also a good food city. I don't know if you spent time up there or not.
Chicago's probably about 4 hours away from my campus, so I did go up over there a couple of times. A lot of like people who go to my school usually end up in Chicago or Minneapolis or Kansas City.
Which school did you go to specifically in Iowa?
Northern Iowa.
Do you miss it looking back on things? Because I'm a nostalgic bitch. Like,
do I miss as far as college?
Yeah, like do you miss feel like not?
I
think you're in your golden years now, doing the shit that you want to do. But there's got to be something about playing football in Iowa, just like away from home, being like a mini star.
I miss the lights at times. You miss suiting up and playing the games, but the shit you had to go through in order to play those games, it's like athletes, especially football players. You played 13 games a year. You're guaranteed 12 if you're lucky. That's 12 days out of 365, and you're doing everything leading into that. So it's so much like camp and two-a-days and off-season conditioning. That part sucked.
Yeah.
But I definitely, there's something that you can't duplicate with like, the crowd and kind of just like getting out there and doing your thing. Definitely, I miss that sometimes, but it's like you said, I feel like I'm fortunate that even though I'm like an old man now, I feel like I'm still in a good place where I don't really miss anything because like I'm doing something now that I really love and I get to do it for a living.
That is true.
And as you probably know, like it pays pretty well. It's like
a good time. Who knew that fast food had so much money involved in it?
It's so funny to me that I got my first YouTube check in 2020. Probably after like 3 or 4 months of posting, I got my first check. It was $222. And I remember like going to my dad who was at work at the time and showing him my phone app like, Dad, I made $200 on YouTube. Can you believe you get paid for this? I didn't know people made money doing this.
It's crazy.
I'd been making content for maybe 4 years before I ever saw a check because I never did it for that. And then I was like, wait, you can make money doing this? Like, so there's like brand deals and I didn't know.
It's a life-changing thing.
Fortunately, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll quit my job now.
Would you believe that it used to be more too? Matt and I had a partnership back in like 2009, and it was like we probably had 10,000 subscribers, and we're making like
less than that,
$1,000, $2,000 a month.
Yeah, I remember we applied for the partner program because you had to apply at that point. There was you had to meet criteria, and then you'd send in an application, and then they report back to you within a certain amount of time. And we got in the first month, I think we made $1,000 in ad revenue, which for a sophomore in high school was nuts.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is 2009. So,
wow.
The staying power, that's probably at least double or more.
By the time our next check was due to come around, whatever the pay cycle was, they had changed the AdSense terms at that point. So the percent that you got was bumped down. And every check we got after that was like lower and lower and lower and lower because YouTube kept taking more and more and more and more of it. I don't know how it works now. We also didn't have a lot of subscribers at the time. And so there wasn't a way to pull a lot of money in.
They had a thing called Adpocalypse on YouTube a while back. Then they kind of switched their terms of service because, you know, there was a lot of people that were doing certain types of videos that would they, you know, people wouldn't want to advertise on them. Mm-hmm. So they changed things around a little bit, but I would say YouTube of any of the just posting organically, I think the money on YouTube is way more than even TikTok, which is decent. And then Instagram, YouTube is way more.
You actually is there because I am not monetized on YouTube yet, so working towards it, but I don't have enough. I
have two channels now on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this ends up printing because I heard that's the difference between like the TikTok creator program's good, Instagram. Like my Facebook is monetized, my Instagram isn't. There for some reason they haven't allowed me to join the monetization program.
They got a weird Instagram is like you know, they just kind of give you money sometimes when they want to. Like, you know, yeah.
Is there a rough conversion rate for views on TikTok or Instagram in terms of money? Is it based on views? Is it based on what's the metric for it?
It's like a CPM and RPM thing, basically. Like, so per click, it's like some people's CPM is higher or lower than others. It fluctuates depending on like the type of content that you make or where you're from. So everything is done like per 1,000 views. But if you look, some people's CPM will be like $1 on TikTok, and other people's will be like 10 cents.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Interesting.
So it just and also TikTok will give people extra if you make original content. So if you're not doing like green screens and things of that nature, so if you're posting just something that's like organic, they actually give you a bonus for it. They're trying to push it.
Yeah, I should start doing more not green screen. All my shit's a green screen, unfortunately. I get put into a little box.
There's like a little blue thing that it says like a bonus from it.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they changed that in the past like 6 months or so because like the RPM fluctuates and I'm still trying to figure it out because I feel like for me, there's a ceiling. And like honestly, and people should listen to this anyway because everybody wants to know how much you can make. But like in my best months, I've made like $5,000 a month on the TikTok program. I can never make more than that. Somebody else I know that has like a couple million followers has hit that same thing. But then I see people on Reddit who are like, I made $30,000 on TikTok this month from like not TikTok Shop, just the creator program. And I'm like, no shit. And then all of a sudden I'm like $500 a month and it's so all over the place.
There's so many things that go into it that I try not to even think about it.
Yeah, you know, like I just check is good, money's consistent. I take
to me that I've always YouTube has been like my bread and butter when it comes to that. You know, like there's way more money in YouTube. That's why I tell people if you want to like if you're actually just want to not rely on brand deals and just make like the organic thing, YouTube is the way to go.
You're influencing my career right now.
Nah, it's way more money than that. Well, honestly, especially if you make long form content.
And that's one of the things that I like about your mix of content is good because you've been able to do both. You think you've done a nice job of balancing stuff that works good for TikTok and Instagram with the actual long form reviews. Obviously, it's been a very long time that you've done them, but there's something about sitting and watching you do your YouTube reviews that feels so like personal. And I'm sure a lot of people have said this, but I feel like I'm in the room with you, basically having a conversation when you're walking everybody through like whatever, like your 5 favorite Taco Bell items, whatever the topic is of the day. And that's one of my favorite things about your content.
It's weird because my parents still watch my content.
I love that.
They watch all my videos and I get text messages from them sporadically. And that's the thing that they tell me.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, Mom, you've been in a room with me while I'm eating.
You literally raised me.
You know, but they still watch my videos and say the same thing. You know, it's I don't know where or how that became a thing, but I say all the time, there's nothing that's when I make videos that's planned.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of that's who I am. I think that's been able to come off, but it wasn't my intention. My intention was to just be myself.
Yeah, it does work. Is it just you that's doing like? Do you have an assistant at this point with?
I am a one man. Other than I have a management team that does like the brand deals and the stuff like that. But other than that, I am a one-man army.
Damn, man.
I am the editor. I am the sound guy. I am the lighting guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had so much fun learning how to do this stuff that I don't think I would ever hire someone. A lot of people have editors and stuff, but I enjoy like figuring out like the different cameras and the microphones. I mean, we've spoken about microphones and stuff like that, but I'm super into cameras now. I buy them for fun. How many cameras I have? Like 10 cameras. I don't need 10 cameras.
Well, visually it works too. There's something about the way you do your lighting in a lot of the videos that it scratches my brain right. And I usually don't say that. It's just like I don't know, you use like very bold color grading. Things look like rich. They're cozy. I'm like, there are so many things that work.
I've had to learn how to color grade. I've had to learn how to film in S-Log. I've had to learn all this stuff, but I've found it so fun to do that I don't think that I would ever hire anybody to do it. It can be tedious, but I look at it like it's your job, so just do it. You know what I mean?
This is true.
I spend hours consuming content on YouTube trying to like perfect those types of things. I don't even think it's important. I just have really turned it into a hobby that I enjoy, doing that kind of stuff. I didn't know what an ND filter was. I didn't know any of this stuff. And here I am with these, like, I'm looking at, there's 3 cameras where I'm filming on my iPhone, by the way, but I'm sitting at a desk that I have so much stuff going on with all this, like my Mac Studio and all of I build desks for fun.
The curved monitor is the sign of a pro.
That is a 5K, 2K ultra wide Samsung. It's a $2,000 monitor, and I wouldn't trade for anything in the world.
Do you game on that as well?
I do. Yeah. I have a PC under my desk with a 4090 in it. I didn't get a new one. I didn't want to get a 5090 because they're too expensive now. Yeah. This is a hybrid setup, so I have a Mac Studio and a PC that I just flip a switch and it can change between the two.
What do you play?
I play mostly sports games, but I also like FPSs, but specifically, I still play old games a lot because I just feel like I've just reached that age where I just turn on Super Nintendo games and Sega and PlayStation 2 games still. I go retro a lot, but I don't get to game a lot. I usually will do it every now and then just to kind of unwind, so I don't want to play anything that's too sweaty.
Oh my god, well that's Call of Duty now with skill-based matchmaking, bro. It's like...
I can't do all that. I used to play FIFA when it was called FIFA. I think now it's called like FC or something like that. But I was like what you would call like not a professional player, but a person who was good enough to make qualifiers. I was that competitive at it. Like I was really good. It got so sweaty that I just hated it. Like I couldn't play it anymore. So I was like, I'm just playing Nintendo from there on out. I just ended up like switching over to play like Nintendo. And right now I'm playing Gears of War.
Ooh, that's what I'm playing. Too. Yeah,
I bought it the first one when it came out in 06.
I do that with Fallout. They haven't done new Fallout since 2015, 2016. But granted, I got into Fallout a little bit later, but Fallout 4 being based in Boston for some reason, like my dumb ass is like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm home. And then I just can like play that game. And then Minecraft is the same way where like I'll just stop playing it for like a year and then all of a sudden I'll pick it back up. And it's the same sort of, it's got to be why people watch TV shows. That they've seen 17 times. It's the comfort.
I do that.
Yeah.
Guilty.
What do you watch?
I just finished watching Friday Night Lights for like the 20th time.
Yeah.
I just finished watching. I've watched Game of Thrones like 30 times. I've watched, and most of the shows I watch, I like go back. I'm like, remember that show? Yeah, just get on here and watch that again.
How did you feel about the ending of Game of Thrones?
I hated it.
Okay.
It didn't even make sense. But that first four seasons were peak television.
The Arya and the Hound relationship is still one of my favorite relationships in all of television.
And that was one of the few things they actually ended well. It ended how it was supposed to end. But, some of the things that happened in season 8 with, Daenerys and just her heel turn in 5 seconds into like burning a whole city down, or Jon Snow killing. It was just, I could for years get into that. I'm definitely on the side of people that can't stand that last season.
Yeah, I definitely was not particularly thrilled. Matt, did you watch it?
I watched Game of Thrones late. I don't know.
I did too, for the record.
Way late. And
are we talking after the show is done?
Either after the show is done or just as the show was No, I think it was after the show was done. And I already knew some of the discourse about season 8. I was so upset I haven't finished Game of Thrones to this day.
Did you get into like 3 episodes and then that was it?
I got into either the 3rd or 4th episode. So I didn't even see the really, really egregious stuff that... Have you seen the videos of the cast reading it and they're crying and they're pissed off. I haven't seen those episodes because I was so mad before that because it felt so stupid and forced, especially since peak Game of Thrones. I can't imagine watching that on TV at the time because even watching it in retrospect, peak Game of Thrones was such good TV.
Unbelievable. I got in about season 3.
Yeah, season 3 to 5-ish, I think, were my peak. 6, fine. 7, fine. 8, never finished it.
That sounds like me with The Walking Dead.
Yeah, man. Well, I remember watching when The Walking Dead came out. I must have been like 11 or 10 because it must have been 2008, give or take. Because I remember Matt watching the pilot in our living room, and it scared the fuck out of me because I was a kid, and the zombies, really, the makeup looked fantastic. But then I started watching it as well, and they were just it was so great. And then, yeah, I was gonna say, I guess it was an AMC thing, but HBO did Game of Thrones. I don't know what it is with there's like great shows that end up being just like trashed at the end.
Yeah, Walking Dead, it was probably about, I forget which, it's the season where Rick ends up leaving. I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm just done.
After that, you're just like, what's the point?
Yeah, it was like a breakup. It was like, no Rick, no show, no.
Yeah, I just finally committed to finishing Community. I had seen Community a bunch over the years, but I hadn't watched the last like 2 or 3 seasons. Once Donald Glover leaves, and once, I can't remember the actress who plays Shirley leaves, and after Pierce Hawthorne's character, Chevy Chase, leaves, kind of like, what is this show now? And so season 5 and season 6 of Community were a lot of meta jokes being like, it's not the same show. It's different now. Is it going to end?
Oh, wow.
You know, it was filmed in a basement in the last season because they lost their studio.
Yeah, because Yahoo picked it up or someone.
What a wild turn of events.
It was a whole thing. Consistently making good content is hard.
It's difficult. But you know what I've been on recently, and this is a YouTube problem. Speaking of YouTube rabbit holes, is I get pitched like the clips every like 2 years. My YouTube algorithm will recommend me like one Game of Thrones clip, and I'll watch that, and then I'll watch all of the best moments, and then I won't pick up the show again. And now it's doing it with Breaking Bad, and this is like the 4th or 5th time in my life where it's just shown me like Breaking Bad clip. So then I watch a bunch of the Breaking Bad clips, but I never go back and rewatch the show. It's such a bizarre thing that it becomes like I'll spend hours on YouTube. I'll spend more time watching highlights than I could just like fucking sit down and watch this actual show. It's bizarre to me.
Breaking Bad is one of those shows that it's so well done, but at the same time, you can watch the highlights and get the same experience because the show is very slow moving in the beginning.
Yeah. Also,
you can kind of just watch the highlights.
The weight of that show too, that to me doesn't. Obviously, it's not a comfort show like I don't know, Friends or something like that. But I can't rewatch. I don't think I'll ever be able to watch Breaking Bad again. There's just something about it that it's just like it becomes so fucked up that it's like I don't know. It's a complicated thing.
It doesn't even end like you don't even get there's no happy endings in the show whatsoever. It's just you're watching a train wreck, but you can't look away from it.
It's kind of like you're a Star Wars guy. You appreciate this. I grew up during the prequel era, so like, and it's like every time you watch that, plus did you watch the newer stuff too, like the Clone Wars? Where do you feel?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you're like not there are only 3 movies type.
No, I can't stand people that do stuff like that. Like, just watch the show. Watch the movie.
Well, the Clone Wars and stuff was really, really good. Like, they did a good job.
There's a lot of people, like you said, they're so close-minded, they probably didn't even attempt to watch any of it. They're just, this is the only stuff. And like you said, the prequels got no love when they came out the same way.
Now they're
starting to get appreciated now.
Well, because they tell
because the new trilogy was kind of but
in 20 years, will that be the same thing, too, with the sequels?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, even though, admittedly, I didn't really care for the sequel trilogy.
Neither did I. I thought that killing off fucking Luke Skywalker and having him become like this sad little hermit was just
I didn't like the whole bringing back Palpatine thing either.
Even that I would be okay with if they didn't just have Luke Skywalker.
And then they made Rey a Palpatine. Like, I just didn't really care for that.
It's weird.
Starkiller Base, which is just
this guy's been here the whole time. He's been pulling the strings the whole time, and no one thought to look anywhere for. Like, he just was hanging out on this planet, even though like Darth Vader threw him off of a fucking a ship all those years ago. He's just been chilling here. Yeah,
And
like,
you're
come
telling
on.
me thousands of Star Destroyers are just going to appear out of nowhere years
Yeah.
and years and years after the Empire fall? Get out of here.
It's a
Yeah,
big
like,
galaxy.
so
Nobody's
mad.
looking right
I was
underneath your nose.
so mad.
Yeah, like what are we doing? And then also, I didn't like the Kylo Ren thing. He was so cool in the first half of the first movie, and then he turned into a brat.
It
Also
sucks too
killing him
because
again.
Yeah,
there's some great moments. Not to
They
get
fly
too
now?
into the weeds. Oh no, the Leia flying drove me crazy through space. I thought that was horrible. But when Laura Dern's character sacrifices herself and jumps to hyperspace and goes through the entire fleet of Star Destroyers, that almost made the entire movie worth it for me. I was like, this
Fair.
is badass. The sound design, incredible. The imagery in that scene, incredible. Ugh, God, I get so upset thinking about those movies.
there's some good moments in it, and I'm definitely, because I also pretty much grew up with the prequel trilogies. I have more of an affinity towards those the same way. But there's some good moments in the sequel ones as well.
Yeah, it's
Revenge of the Sith is my favorite one. That was the
mine
one
too.
that
And
I
every
remember.
single time you root for Anakin, and you're like, it's not going to happen, man. Like, what if things were just different? And it's the same thing, where it's just the fall to the dark
Yeah, like
side.
what if he didn't fall to the dark side?
Yeah.
That's what I need Disney to do. Is
A what if?
like they did.
No,
the
I don't want
Marvel
Disney to
What
do
If.
anything anymore.
I just want
Oh.
them to give me that.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Marvel Zombies?
I
No,
didn't.
I think it's the same art style as that What If show, but they're basically doing Thunderbolts versus a bunch of zombie Avengers in anime. It looks fucking sick. I'm usually
does
not
that
one to
come out?
gobble. Later this month, I think.
that's sweet.
But
So yeah, we're usually here to talk about food, but food is just larger pop culture, so it doesn't really. That's honestly the same shit. I feel like if you think about something like Marvel versus something like Taco Bell, I feel like those fandoms are very similar in terms of like the pull and the weight of each medium. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think when it comes to fast food, I mean, it's definitely, there's a cult like following for certain places where people will defend certain places to the death. And Taco Bell is definitely one of those places. Fast food is just as trendy as all that stuff, so it falls under the same category.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you know how mad people get about food.
Bro.
I'm sure you got a comment section. People get angry,
every day,
like legitimately
every day.
angry, especially if you say something and they don't agree with you. Like they'll insult you pretty bad.
I said that the new snack wrap was as good as the old one, and people thought
forget
I was lying.
That's a hot take, and oh yeah,
It was
They
a
must
hot
have paid
take,
you, right?
but here's the thing. Okay, the McCrispy strips were
For
obviously,
them.
controversial release, but I had good ones. I liked them. Granted, I also did a paid partnership with them, so like you have to keep in mind that is the line. But the snack wrap, like I wasn't paid to do any snack wrap promo, and I tried it, and I was like, this tastes the same as I remember. Like no bullshit. It smelled the same. The flavor was the same. Are they the chicken selects? That was like 10 years ago, man. I couldn't tell you what the fuck a chicken select tastes like.
Agreed.
And so I was eating the snack wrap, and I was like, I am satisfied by this. And then I went through, inspired by you, actually. I still haven't posted the video because I'm late to the game, but I went through and tried every snack wrap that I could find. I tried like 15 of them, and McDonald's was number 2 out of Arby's, Sonic, like all these different places.
Really?
And so it was at least the one I've had was good. And then the one that was the top was Taco Bell's like crispy chicken tacos with the new
I think it always
tenders.
depends on your locations too. Some locations are better than others.
It really is such a true thing.
When it comes to fast food, locations matter.
It does,
Yeah.
because like you can go to one Taco Bell that's 4 miles away. You can go to one Taco Bell that's 5 miles away, and the experience that you're going to have at either one could be just massively different. Our KFCs are like
100%.
that. Like our KFCs are like really inconsistent. There's one by me that like the food just sits under the thing for like ages, and every time you go there it's going to be mid, and then you go to the combined KFC Taco Bell, which you think would be worse but is actually better.
It just depends on the place. Like you said, like all the franchisees and stuff are different.
It does.
yeah, I've been thinking about this with guacamole recently, because my girlfriend, one of her go-to snacks is chips and guac, and I recently in LA we have a grocery store chain owned by Kroger called Ralph's, and I've started to notice that the different Ralphs that I go to, the quality of the guac differs between them. So the one that's near my house has fantastic guac, nice and chunky, big pieces of tomato and cilantro in there, delicious. But then the other day I went to another Ralph's and I just grabbed the guac that they had and brought it home. And I open it and there's no tomatoes. There's fucking red peppers in it, which I've never had before. And I was also just baffled because how are you going to make, and maybe I'm ignorant on this, but how are you going to make a guac with red peppers in it in Los Angeles of all places?
That's
What?
weird.
Why?
That's
And so
sus-
it's so hit or miss depending on where you go.
It
I
becomes
really
part of
is.
your routine though, because then you learn to avoid that one. And if you need to go, like I do that too, where it becomes specific places for specific things.
I absolutely do that.
Yeah,
I drive past like 3 Popeyes just to get to the one that I usually go to.
you kind of need to because you are already spending the money. Granted, it's a business expense, but you don't want to have a shitty baseline either when you're trying everything out, because it's like, yeah, I mean, especially if you're still in the area that you grew up in too. Like I'm the same way. I know where the good McDonald's are.
Mhm.
Like I know where the good BK is. I know where I'm still figuring out the Taco Bell thing because I was very late on Taco Bell. Like I know you've had Taco Bell since you were a kid. I didn't go until I was 24.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
were at a Taco
man.
Bell house.
We were not a Taco Bell house. We were a Moe's house.
Moe's. Welcome to Moe's. How can I help
Yeah.
you?
I mean, when I was a kid, we used to ride our bikes to Taco Bell in the summer, and you go there for like $4, and you'd end up with 4 tacos and like a drink
Is
and
it
nacho
still,
chips.
is it still your number one? Although the other day you did post a video about Wendy's saying that Wendy's
Wendy's is
low-key
my
the best.
favorite fast food restaurant.
Wendy's is your
Why?
favorite fast food restaurant.
Their menu is so big and everything there is good. They have burgers, they have chicken sandwiches, they have chili, they have baked potatoes, they have fries, they have nuggets, they have a breakfast menu that's insane, they have cookies that are insane. I don't eat salad, but I'm sure their salads are pretty good. The Frosties, their menu has more depth than 90% of fast food menus. You can go there 24 hours a day. Most Wendy's are open all the time, and nothing there to me is like a subpar fast food item.
I feel like we don't have a
sometimes
lot of
question.
Wendy's on the West Coast.
Maybe. Well, you guys,
I like-
the in and out thing makes it difficult as well because of the competitive stuff. 'Cause the
Yeah, we
lines
got
at
a
fucking
shitload
In-N-Out
of
are
McDonald's.
nothing- Yeah, but I mean, McDonald's is one where I feel like it's just kind of everywhere, and obviously Wendy's is a national chain, but California's ecosystem, like you don't see lines at any other fast food place like you do at In-N-Out. And
No, that's not true at all.
Really,
I would say Chick-fil-A, a lot of the Chick-fil-A's around here have crazy lines going out into the street. Unfortunately, I think that's just a part of LA's car-centric
maybe
lifestyle.
You guys don't have Dairy Queen either.
No, not to my knowledge.
There are
not
no Dairy
close
Queens
by.
in Los Angeles. There are 0 Dairy Queens.
They don't serve hot Dairy Queen where I live.
It's you have to be at a grill and chill for that.
We don't
Something
have
like
them.
that. Yeah, it's so weird. I think I saw
We
one
only
like,
have
Hampshire
ice
once.
cream.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Ours are something like that too in Massachusetts. I think every once in a while there is like a grill and chill, and sometimes they'll have tenders, but for the most part, it's like only. Yeah, which is ironic. I've been to Dairy Queen maybe 4 times in my life. One of them was in like the one by Park Ridge, which is it's just so funny. But back to the Wendy's thing. What would you say are your top 5 Wendy's items if you were to pick them?
Oof. Spicy chicken, but specifically the Asiago Ranch spicy chicken fillet.
I didn't even know that existed. That sounds gas.
Oh yeah, it's the best. It's like a specific ranch, specific cheese, specific bacon. That spicy fillet for me there, and the premium bun, second to none. If I'm allowed to bring in premium items,
Oh yeah,
then
bring in whatever. This is the KingSchratz official Wendy's list.
they had one last year, which was like a bacon mushroom melt. It's only limited edition, but that was my favorite burger. But if I'm just going off the regular menu, you can just give me a Dave's Double, and I'm good with that. I love their chili. So you can give me their chili cheese fries specifically. You get a fries on the side and you just dunk them in the chili as you go. The spicy barbecue nuggets, specific, it has to be the spicy barbecue nuggets specifically. And probably the chocolate frosty.
Chocolate Frost is
You
pretty
can't
good.
go wrong with that.
Yeah. Do you do any
But-
of the mix-ins now, like the Pop-Tarts or any of that shit that they have?
I
You
feel
can
like
mix
less is
Pop-Tarts in now?
They have.
yeah, they have Pop-Tarts.
have-
Right now they have the Raven's Blood one because the Wednesday thing is out.
The sauces
and-
were good on the Wednesday meal.
I liked them. There's like a black
loved
cherry
those.
type of vibe.
Yeah, that was good. The chicken
I mean,
nugget
Wendy's
was
just
good.
doesn't miss. Like they just have such a big menu and there's nothing there. Like even most places have something where it's like, okay, well, if I like McDonald's personally, I don't like their chicken sandwiches. I'm not a fan.
I had the
I'm
McChicken
also-
today, and I did not like it.
I'm not a fan of their chicken sandwiches. Like, their nuggets are classic, they're iconic, but like their chicken sandwiches just for me aren't really great. McDonald's fries are really, their burgers, depending on what you get, are hit or miss. You know, like they have McFlurries if you can get one when the machine breaks. Every other place has blemishes, and Wendy's, I feel like they just have this big ass menu and everything's good.
They're
Whatever you're in the
consistent.
mood for, they have it.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Whoa, the Takis meal. What were your thoughts on the Wendy's Takis meal?
It's funny because I love Takis. I love the damn sandwich. People thought that I filmed at a Wendy's. I tried the Takis meal. I liked it. I said it was gas. And then probably 3 weeks later, my manager came to me with a brand deal about the same sandwich. So I filmed a brand deal video after I did a non-brand deal video.
Don't you hate when that happens?
In the brand deal video, do you know how the amount of people that are like, "Are you just saying that because you got paid?" It's like 3 videos before this, I said the same thing.
You can see it. It's a pattern.
You know, people don't look at that type of stuff, though.
No, I don't. It's
I actually really liked it. To me, it was a chicken sandwich with Takis dust and queso and you know, the street corn spread. You can't go wrong with it.
I love the street corn spread. That was such a nice addition to it that I feel like is what sealed the deal. Because everything was good about it. I liked it. Felt like the heat was nice. But it was that corn,
The street corn spread.
elote, like on top, that was just the extra element it needed. It was good.
So yeah, that's my favorite. Wendy's.
Is there any popular fast food chain that you don't really fuck with? That you're
Subway.
like, that was fast.
I hate Subway. It's the most fit. I am very vocal about it. I hate Subway. As a person who ate a lot of Subway growing up, I can't believe the mockery that it's become.
Honestly, Subway's never talked to me in my entire career. A
$5
lot of people kiss
footlong
my
era.
ass, dude. Subway's never reached out, so I'm here for any Subway slander.
$5 footlong era for me was goated.
That was a great time. We had one down the street from our house. Like it was like a 5
Grab
minute
yourself
walk.
a sweet onion chicken teriyaki footlong or a mid-ball footlong, and you went in there with $5, you eat like a king. But
Subway used to be the most popular franchise in the
They
U.S.
still have
Subway's
the
been
most
anything.
locations. They've
yeah,
got
there
like
were, I
20,000.
think 17,000 somewhere, something like that at their peak.
Jesus.
But now when you go in there, you know, no matter when you go, the bread's stale. I don't think I've ever seen any employee like not clean that knife off that they cut everyone's sandwich on. There's always a fly in Subway. I don't like the depressed lighting that they have. It's just not good. Like it's not a good sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'm very vocal about it. I'm very open about, like, I don't care about brand deals to the point that I don't care. If I don't like something, I've turned down a lot of brand deals.
Yeah.
Because if I don't like something, I'm not doing it.
I noticed that too as I was watching through your videos. You're very not mean and not rude, but very candid when you don't like something. So there was a video recently I was watching of yours where you review what was supposed to be a tres leches cake, but it was just like white cake.
That's at on the border, the Uno Leche cake.
Yeah, the Uno Leche cake.
Absolutely.
Where
it's
you're
funny
like,
because it's supposed to have a like there's a milk base on the bottom. It wasn't there. It was a piece of cake. There was nothing there. It was so bad to the point. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but a lot of restaurants, because I've been filming in restaurants now a lot, in the last like maybe 3 months, I just said, you know what, like, fuck it, I'm going inside.
That takes some balls. I gotta just rub that off of me. Not the. That's a weird
I was like,
phrasing,
fuck
but-
it, like, because I feel like everybody does theirs in the car. I hate eating in my car.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't like it. Like, you got to put that tray up. You spill crumbs. You're cleaning all the time. I feel congested. I need to get out and, you know, sit down. I was like, okay, well, I can't take this home. Like, just invest in it in a good noise canceling mic, because you got background music. You got to take that out, and just go inside. So one day I said, fuck it, I'm going inside. And I've been doing that for like the last few months. The experience overall has been good. Now, this is going to sound, I guess, a little like vain, but I don't know how else to say it. I didn't realize like the reach that I had, because I get recognized all the time, but specifically by employees at restaurants. So I never go in places and I'm like, hey, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
I just go in and I sit down and I, you know, just like everybody else, I got the camera off to the side. I make sure it's not facing anybody, and I eat. So at this specific place, and a lot of places like this, they don't tell me they know who I am until it's all said and done. So at this specific place, I didn't know it, but I had finished my entrees, and then I asked for the dessert. I asked for the Uno Leche cake, and the woman who wasn't my waitress, she comes up and she's like, "Oh, I see you got the tres leches cake. Why don't you try this chimichanga, this cheesecake chimichanga? Because I feel like that's our best one. So I got that one, and it came to find out that she knew who I was.
Smart. That's good.
They knew who, like the whole time they knew who and I'm so oblivious. Like I don't think people, but they knew who I was. So she came back and asked me, she said, how'd you think about the cake? I was like, yeah, it sucked. And she was like, yeah, it's kind of bad, you know? And I was like, why don't they put I tell the truth because I don't try to be mean, but I at least try to be candid and constructive.
Well, there's also a lot of feedback. It's valuable. I see that as a bonus. You've got two camps where like there'll probably be a brand that gets upset, but if they take that down a notch and the ego thing comes out of it, it's like here's very objective feedback for you to take into consideration.
I have beefed with a few brands, man.
Can you talk about it?
I can tell you one specifically that got pissed off, and I think that will never like include me in anything. One specifically, and that's Oreo.
Oh my god, what's the beef with Oreo?
This was, you remember when those Sour Patch Kids Oreos came out?
I do.
They reached out to my management and they wanted to send me, they send a bunch of people this stuff. You know, they send PR packages.
I get mailers. I have a bathrobe. It's not up here, but I wear it all the time with the red velvet Oreos.
I have a sweatsuit, Oreo sweatsuit. The Sour Patch Kids one, it's fly as shit. You know me, I wore a Planters hat for weeks. If they wear something that's fly, like I'm going to put it on.
Planters does good merch. Just want to say that.
Oh man, that trucker! it's like a '90s football coach, man. I love that shit.
Did you get that acrylic box, like the blue one? I still have that under my bed. I keep my keepsakes in there.
I have a bunch of stuff, but yeah, Oreo. They reached out to my management. Like this wasn't a brand deal, but you know they send the PR packages and it's cool. So they were like, you know, we have a new thing that's coming out. So we want to send you this. They didn't tell me what it was. Turns out it was the Sour Patch Kids Oreos, but they weren't coming out for about a month. And I guess the package was supposed to get there in 2 weeks. But I go to a random CVS, and they put them out already. They were there. So I was like, oh, shit, this isn't out yet. I'm doing a review. So I immediately got in my car, did a review, posted it. The video had maybe like 500 to 700,000 views within a 24-hour span. They basically reached out to my management team and asked me to take the video down and basically said, you know, we can't tell you what to do. And they strongly suggested that they just wouldn't be open to doing anything with me in the future after that. Yeah. And I, for lack of better words, I told my manager to tell them to go fuck themselves. And I said, make sure you tell them just like that. Mm-hmm. Because one, you're not paying me to do this. It's a PR package. Like, I didn't have to even post that. And two, if I posted it on TikTok and it's got 500,000 views, you're literally taking money out of my pocket at this point. And to me, my allegiance is not to the money, it's to the viewers. I'm not taking it down because people are interested in this shit. I'm not taking it down just because you think that, oh, well, you know, it's going to mess up our rollout. Like, I don't care about your rollout.
And somebody put the product
CVS already messed it
stores. And this specific release with the Sour Patch Kid Oreos had been found in other retailers at that time, because there was an incident of somebody posting it and they had to take it down. So it's happened. And in my thing, obviously there are a lot of embargoes and press things that happen, and there are product rollouts. But my rule of thumb typically at this point is like, if it hits stores, like I will respect a press. I will never break a press embargo. But if it hits stores, I'm like, it's on shelves. You know, there's nothing I can do about it if it's available to the public. If my followers are telling me it exists and I can't talk about it, and I'm doing like a roundup or whatever the fuck, and everybody's like, hey, this soda is out on shelves. I'm like, cool. I can't talk about it for another 3 weeks. It's such a weird thing. I feel like any press is good press, right? Like, why wouldn't you want somebody to just like? Why would you at the point care? Why wouldn't you just
like
be
I said, it was a PR package. Like, you don't have to show those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just didn't like the way they went about it, because they were just like, you either take it down or we're not doing anything with you anymore.
Right.
Like, you could have done 1,000,000,001 ways different than that.
Yeah, it's so accusatory, and just it sounds like they just assumed the worst of you right off the bat, rather than asking, oh, where did you get this? How did this happen? And mitigate for future issues.
Thanks for the million views on the internet.
Yeah.
So, I know, because when the Reese's Oreos thing came out, I saw the boxes go out, and I was like, yeah, they're not giving me one of those.
That was a difficult release, because I had worked with them on like a seeding campaign for it to like subtly tease it. And there was an embargo, of course, and that was an instance where somebody had preloaded it on Walmart's website, and then one person had posted it, and then the embargo was supposed to be up like in a week or two, and then all of a sudden, just like everybody who wasn't embargoed had to post about it, and that was stressing that day, because I had like an exclusive scoop for that thing, but things happen, like they end up on shelves and then it throws plans out the window. It's very, very difficult to control it, but it was a stressful day.
I'm the type of person that, if you talk to me a certain type of way, like I just won't let it go.
Of course, there's a respect thing, and I think that it's not. It happens in a lot of these scenarios where a lot of brands will think that they don't realize that it's a mutual relationship, and it's not a I tell you what to do thing. It's a leveraging standpoint where you've got like massive influence, and it's got to be collaborative at the end of the day. You can't just force somebody to do something.
Unless it's a brand. Brand deals are different because they're paying you.
Oh yeah, not brand deals. I mean,
that's
just
what I'm saying. But like a PR thing.
Yeah, if you're looking for free PR.
That's what I'm saying. It's to me like I can do what the hell I want with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't have to post anything. And I think people forget that like a lot because, I know how they work. They get the marketing budget, and some people go the route of PR boxes because they don't have to pay anybody to do it.
Yeah. What's the best PR package you've ever received?
I got a fridge from Dunkin' Donuts.
You got a fridge from Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
Like a full fridge? Is it like a mini fridge?
It's a mini fridge. I still use it to this day. I put my energy drinks in it. It's probably like maybe a 16 canner.
That's fantastic.
And they gave me that and a cup. That was like last year too. I've gotten some cool stuff though. But the Planners hat I wore for like 3 months, and people were like, where'd you get this hat? And I had people DMing me, asking me because they wanted to buy the hat.
The Alani sent hats out a couple months ago that I loved too. That was like the trucker hat with the snapback. What are some of the other PR gifts that are highlights?
The Planners one, like I said, stuck out. I got a hat from B-Dubs recently that I really liked, and
Shout
also
out B-Dubs.
That stands for Buffalo Wild Wings. I know that.
Has learned that. He did not know 2 weeks ago.
They send out some pretty good stuff. And then like the Oreo Sour Patch Kids jumper I wear all the time.
Yeah,
I'm big on clothes. Like, also KFC, another one. They sent out a box one time. It had a jacket, a hoodie, and a lounge fly bag.
Really?
I had a KFC Varsity Letterman's jacket. I was like, I'm gonna be the flyest.
I would kill for that.
I have it, yeah, and it's a lounge fly bag, but it's a bucket of chicken.
They also do a really good job at their merch in particular. Like I've noticed that. What do I have from KFC that? I've got a bunch of them. One of them, we went on a brand trip a while back to KFC's headquarters in Louisville, and they gave us just like one of their regular. It's like this off-white, not the brand off-white, but the color off-white.
Yeah.
It's like sick. It's this like thick, comfortable KFC. It's got KFC in the back, but I wear it all the time because it's like streetwear. It's sick. It's really dope. I don't think anything for me beats the Oreo bathrobe because I literally use that unironically all the time. But the Dunkin' fridge, I would kill
that fridge was probably the best because I have like 3 or 4 mini fridges everywhere I go because I'm a big Diet Coke guy, Coke Zero to be specific. I actually have a mini fridge in my office here. I have a mini fridge. I have my own studio. Like this, I'm in my house now, but I have my own studio, which I have 2 mini fridges in as well.
Nice. You drink a lot of energy drinks too.
One a day.
What's the go-to right now?
I get sent a lot of energy drinks. Alani sends me a lot of energy drinks.
Alani hooked it up.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So I drink a lot of Alani.
Do you have like 80 cans of Witch's Brew right now? Because I've got 80 cans of Witch's Brew.
And I've got also like their protein bars. I've got at least 50 of those too. They always are like, hey, you want some? I'm like, shit, hell yeah.
Never say no.
No. So I drink a lot of Alani, and the other one that I drink a lot of is Ghost.
Ghost has been on a roll right now in terms of their releases. Like
I like their products. Even from a fitness standpoint, I like their products. Like their protein is good. Their energy drinks are also good, but they do a nice job with all their stuff.
Yeah. Let's pivot to that for a second because I have been remiss to talk about your relationship with fitness these days. What does that look like for you? Are you still training people? I know you're obviously very busy with the content. Are you training people at all these days? Are you doing stuff for yourself these days?
I stopped in 2022.
Okay, so it's been.
I was doing both up until 2022. Once I got the diamond, the play button, the silver play button.
I'm so jealous.
I was kind of like,
it's a big goal.
You'll get one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I think you just have to stay consistent on there. Like I'm actually trying to get another one now.
The gold, 500K.
I think I'm at like 410.
Yeah, you'll get one.
But I have a second channel that's I think at like 40K subscribers. I started a couple of months ago. That was a goal of mine too. I think every person who makes content wants a play button.
Oh, so I don't know if you know my friend Morgan Chomps. She was on here recently, but Morgan's got the silver play button. Jazz and Cam, I don't know if you know Jazz and Cam. It gets to be a very small space. Jazz and Cam, I think, just got their silver play button, and now I have the FOMO of not being in the silver button club. But keep in mind, Matt and I have been doing this since like 2008, and so like I think it was always like a childhood dream, and then I just forgot it existed, and now I'm like, I need that play button. So I'm about to switch up my content strategy a little bit on YouTube.
It's definitely like I get it. I think every person who makes content like that play button is like
that's like an Oscar, basically.
You feel official.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like, oh yeah, like I completely get it because I got mine maybe 2022. 2022, but it was at the point now where my day job, I was making more money doing this, and I was just like, I need to be able to get out there and move around to go to different restaurants and do reviews. I can't do that if I'm trying to work with Miss Jones on her training session and she's like, oh, I'm running late. You know what I mean? So I ended up backing away from that to the point that I'm out.
Do you upload to YouTube every single day?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
On
and do you
channels.
shoot every day?
Yeah.
Wow. And do you block shoot at all, or is it just...
No.
Wow.
It's a part of my schedule every day.
And you're also doing the shorts and the short form video as well when you're doing all this.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's nuts.
I gotta eat, right?
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I get that.
I do. Hey, I do multiple videos, 1 or 2 videos every single day. Short, granted, the green screen, it takes a lot of research and stuff to do that. It's like a 3 or 4 hour process, and I still have a day job. But I mean, to do like I love long form. I love vlogging, all that stuff. So to see you do that,
I'm a long form person through and through.
A lot more, like we were saying, it's a lot more intimate.
I need details.
Yeah.
I feel like shorts are for people who are just get to the point, and that's your personality. But I'm a person who I like nuance. I like details. I like to know the why of things.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're reviewing food, like, for example, there might be something that you might like that I might not like. So I try to give the reasons on why I don't like it, but you might if you like those things.
Oh, we talk about this a lot because it's
and some people just, you know, like, they're like, just tell if it's good. But I'm like, what if you like that stuff and I don't?
And everybody's tastes are subjective.
Yes, and people don't realize that. You know, like I personally, for example, don't like dill. So
yeah, you're not a pickle person at all, right?
I hate pickles. Hate. So like Wendy's had the pickle menu, you know, and all these places, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not Wendy's, but Popeyes, and I'm like, I'm abstaining.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of them this year. Popeyes, Sonic.
It's the worst trend that I've ever seen in the food world for me because I can't do any of them.
Worse than piss like Dubai chocolate and Mike's Hot Honey?
For me, absolutely. Because I can't even do it.
Do you remember your first pickle experience?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I threw up.
What?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a person who I have an aversion to that. I don't like the smell. I don't like, so as a kid, I went to a McDonald's. I can tell you where it was, everything. It was in Garden State Plaza. I went with my cousin and I ordered a cheeseburger back when they were 69 cents with no pickles. And I bit it and there was a pickle and I threw it on the table.
Oh God.
Wow. So this is a
very, it was like 6
strong disdain for the pickles.
And it was funny because when I had maybe 3,000 subscribers on YouTube back in 2020, I said, if I ever get a silver play button, I'll eat a pickle on camera.
So
I didn't think that was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, 40K, I'm really going to have to do this shit. Up 95K, I'm going to have to do this shit. So I ended up going to Wingstop and ordering a sandwich with pickles, and I threw up in that video too.
I need to find this afterwards.
I'm looking at it, but I'm not going to watch that one.
I threw up in that video too. I had a Minions bucket from AMC Theaters. I threw up right there.
Oh There's God! In the Minion?
Yeah. I really just don't like. I don't know what it is. The
As
smell, the taste. It's just like a taste aversion or even a smell.
Yeah, it's got to be like an extreme version of how people feel about cilantro. Like there's some, not that I'm saying the pickle version.
Some people say it tastes like soap. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something's just in the wires of the brain. But not wired for pickle.
I just don't like, and it's funny because like I love hot chicken. And I just, every time I have to like, no pickles, no pickles, no pickles. You don't want pickles? No, not on anything.
What about something like Chick-fil-A that is marinated in pickle brine?
You know, I've heard differing things where people say it's not, and then
It is
hear
true.
what it is. I guess it just doesn't bother me.
Interesting.
I don't know. I've heard two different things about Chick-fil-A, but I don't taste it.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, it's more, I mean, it does impart a small amount of flavor, but part of the use of the brine is the acid, the vinegar helps tenderize the chicken. So I think it's more of a function than a flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gotten better over the years, but like it's very specifically like the heavy dill bucket, you know, type of. I mean, I eat things like Dave's sauce, and I'm pretty sure that has pickle juice in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've gotten better over the years, but there's something that's just like I can't eat them. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's valid. The hardest part about this for you is the fact that you can't get Grillo's Pickles merch because that shit's fire.
Yeah, no, they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, I want to root back to the fitness thing though, because that's obviously still a big part of your life too. What do you do on a daily basis for your fitness routine?
I work out. I work out 5 days a week with weights, 5 to 6, and 7 days a week when it comes to cardio.
Okay.
And it's just a part of, I'm big on routine. I have the same routine every day. So I will usually in the afternoon go and film and record whatever I need to record. And then I go to my studio, which has a gym in it.
Oh, that's convenient as hell. I wish I had that.
You've got to make your life convenient to get these things. Because if I had
so
to,
true.
So a lot of times when I'm editing and rendering videos, I'm actually doing sets in between.
Holy shit, you're gonna change my life, Dave.
So that's usually what I'll do is I'll start editing and I have like a timer. So when my rest period is up, I'll go do another set.
Damn.
My studio is actually, I had 3 training studios. So I kept one of them for me and I turned it into a studio just for me. So it's like half fitness, half editing. And I record there for my second channel, but I use it to edit and work out. But so that's where I go after every day when I film and I make sure that I work out. And then cardio is 7 days a week. It's usually 45 minutes to an hour on it's either the bike or the elliptical or treadmill. I have all 3.
How do you feel about the Stairmaster?
I love the Stairmaster.
Stairmaster.
They're just expensive as hell unless you're not going to a gym.
I know, man. That's the hardest part is the stair machine. If I had the space, I would have one of those in my house, and I've literally I get into the gym, and I will edit on my phone like on the Stairmaster. I know it's not optimal because you need your like hands on your hip or whatever people do, but I'm like leaned over the bar on the stair machine.
Oh, I used to do that.
Yeah, it's convenient. It makes sense.
I don't edit on my phone anymore, but when I did, I would definitely do it while doing cardio.
Yeah.
What program do you use to edit?
CapCut actually.
No,
but
shit.
the desktop version.
I didn't even know there was a desktop version of CapCut.
1,000 times better than the.
Oh, you can.
And then you can auto reframe that to 9:16, which is vertical.
Yeah.
So that's how I take my long form and turn them into shorts.
Interesting.
I'll actually cut it down to like a 2-minute video and then reframe it so that it's just.
You're gonna change my life.
So I film in open gate, which is like 4:3, so you can get a lot more. So you can film and turn that into 16:9 or 9:16. And CapCut has a thing where you just press a button.
These are massive tips that I'd see. I wish I had the time. I'm complaining as if you have the time, as if you to like sit there and research all these things because these are things that I never pick up.
What you are doing is some of the smartest filmmaking I've heard in a while. As someone
that's a professional video editor.
If you were my client, I would be so relieved to be working with you because the fact that you're shooting in super flat S-Log, color grading is a breeze. You're shooting 4:3 because you're like, oh, I have to switch to 16:9, 9:16. I have some people that'll shoot, they won't even, it'll be a 16:9 video and they won't even shoot for 16:9. Like, don't underestimate how bad some people are at this. So hearing your process has been such a relief.
I've really, tried to. I'm just the type of person that when I do something, I don't know if it's my competitive nature or what, but when I go into something, I always try to be the best version of that. So that's why I'm always like, how does this person's videos look like this? Or how does this person's sound like this? Like, how do you EQ a mic? Like, what's a low cut filter? I don't know any of this stuff. So it just makes me interested and I start consuming and reading about it. And that's how it just ends up being that way. The biggest thing that I've realized when it comes to being a content creator is your workflow is everything. you've got to be efficient as hell.
You really do. The
So
long form
that's
takes
how
a long time to edit. I mean, it's a challenge. What's the, and I'm sorry that I'm not privy to this before having you on. What's the second channel that you're working on right now?
Oh, more KingSchratz.
But okay, but it's like, what's the content top? Is it food or is it other stuff?
Everything. There's food on there, but there's also I do everyday carry videos. I'm super into like tech now. Okay. So, you know, like I just bought this bag. It's like a camera bag, but I can fit everything in it. So I've got my like Ridge wallet and all this other stuff. So just the stuff I use to carry every single day. Movie reviews.
This has been very more lifestyle oriented. And you're a big, like I said, it's a big pop culture guy. So you're getting kind of that in there too. It's a whole.
So it's just whatever I feel. I mean, there are some videos where I like the other day I made a video in my car where I'm just talking. You know, just talking about, I think it was more about people needing to be more accountable. When you want to do something, you actually have to do it. Like nobody's going to hand it to you. And sometimes I get these like thoughts in my head and I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to record it and document it. So the first channel is all food, where the second channel is food plus whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the second channel is more desserts oriented. Like that's where the crumble videos go.
Okay. I was wondering why I hadn't seen the crumble videos on YouTube, on your like regular YouTube page.
I haven't gone to crumble in 2 weeks. The last one I went to, I tried to go to the Dubai chocolate one. They were sold out within a day.
Dude, I was in New York City when that was going on, and there were people all over the place looking for that shit.
I couldn't believe they sold out like in the first day within like 3 hours.
These trends,
and they never
sometimes
got them stocked in again where I live.
Yeah,
I have
which is crazy because where you are is such a big commercial zone. The demographics.
There's only like 2 or 3 crumbles in Bergen County.
Yeah, there's that one by I know about the one by the Wegmans in
oh yeah, up in Montville.
Yeah,
yep.
I go to that
Montville, and there's one in Paramus.
That tracks. Okay,
I love Wegmans.
The Wegmans, the Montville Wegmans is 5 minutes from my grandparents' house. So really? I go there. I bring my grandfather a sub. I bring my grandmother flowers, and I am a happy man.
The Wegmans sub is highly underrated.
Seriously is.
It's such a good sandwich. They make better sandwiches than almost any chain sub place.
I believe that. So there's something about the Wegmans hot bar that is absolutely elite. Like everything like that mac and cheese is good. Their sushi is good.
Other than maybe Jersey Mike's, I would say they make one of the better sandwiches that you can get from a franchise sub place.
Yeah, it's
so I haven't had Jimmy Johnson's College.
Well, really?
They don't have any around here.
No shit. I was going to ask when it came down to subs, especially because I know that or heroes. I know that in Jersey, obviously there's a big sub culture.
Oh yeah. There's delis in every corner.
Yeah. There's you ever go to Casa del Sol in I think it might be Park Ridge. It's a good sandwich place that we've been going to I'll send you a link to it. My dad's obsessed with it. Every time we're there, it's like we have to.
It's a sandwich place?
Yeah. They do like full Italian blah, 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 with the salami and all the stuff. You know,
salam,
the whole 9 yards.
Prosciutto,
the salam.
Little gabagool?
Little gabagoo.
That's another one I didn't even know it was like written capicola until I was like 20.
Honestly, we always, what did we say? I don't think we've ever said
Capicolo or something.
I don't think we ever said that though in the house either. We would call it something else too. But in defense of people from Jersey mispronouncing things, our father, love him, Bresaola is a specific Italian meat that our entire lives, our father called it brajol.
Brajol.
Yeah, which is the same thing. And I
didn't even know what the other one was you said until you said brajol. I was like, okay, exactly. Yeah, I know that one.
Until one guy like 4 or 5 years ago corrected my dad. And then all of a sudden we couldn't say brajol anymore because it was wrong. We always called it brajol in the house, like always called it. So it bleeds into other places.
New Jersey is a heavy Italian-American accent where that's not an Italian accent. They're two entirely different things. So I have a lot of friends I grew up with that are Sicilian. And they came here and just dropped the A off of a bunch of stuff. That's where it came from. You know what I mean? So it's specific. So if you talk to an Italian from Italy, they'll tell you that nothing that they do is Italian. They're like two different entirely things. But growing up, if I went to a pizza place or that's what it was. It was prosciutto. It was gabagool. That's what we said. So now, because people on the internet think that like everyone on the internet has to be where they're from, they're like, oh, bro is forcing that accent. I'm like, you know where I live?
Dude, people do that all the time. It's really just like people on the internet, man. You could do anything and figure it out. And honestly, if you did play it up a little bit, like I wouldn't blame you, but I know you don't. Like,
no,
I've been around enough New Jersey people that I know what it sounds like.
Yeah. There's nothing. I can't do the playing up thing with anything. Like,
there are people from Boston. I know people like Boston content creators that will play.
They're dropping their R's.
Yeah, some people will lean really heavily into it. I don't remember who it is specifically, but there are a couple folks that will just like really lean into it. I think it's the same thing with I see like a couple content creators out of Texas that I know will play up the Texas accent really hard. And then you meet them, and you're like, oh, you don't talk like that. Like,
I get it. I get why people do things because, you know, they're putting out content and you're trying to do something where you're not necessarily putting on a show, but for lack of better, you are putting on a show. So I can understand why people do certain things. But for me, I don't know if it's that old millennial thing with me that I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. This is what it is. Like, I'm not playing anything up. I'm not doing anything extra. You know, I'm not doing the overly thumbnail things where people are surprised at a sandwich. I can't do it. Yeah. I get why people do it, but I cannot do it.
It's the KingSchratz way. You're authentic. You're not over the top. Do you?
I just got to be yourself. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I know people see like their bottle of water. Like, I can't do it. Like I'm not that excited about a bottle of water.
Do you have? I mean, that's obviously big advice by itself. But do you have any final advice for people aspiring in the content creation space?
Don't do it for the money. Because if your only goal is to make money, you'll hate it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get paid right away, and a very small percentage of people who do this actually make money doing it. Develop really thick skin, because no matter what you do, people will have something to say. You know, you could make a video about this bottle of water, and somebody will be like, "You're fat." It's just like that.
He's not actually drinking that water.
Yeah, like somebody's gonna have something to say, and the biggest thing for me is just like, make sure you love what you're doing. Because once you get into a niche, it's not that easy to pivot away from it. You know, like doing food reviews has gotten really popular in the last couple of years because I think people see like the lucrativeness of it. And like everybody's, well, I like food and I get that. But eating professionally and doing it every single day or however you want to do it, after a while, it can get tedious because you're not doing things normal. Like it takes the fun. I don't eat off camera like ever.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Like when my friends are like, yeah, we're going to, this restaurant. I'm like, cool. I'll just sit here, that's because cool. So you have to make sure you love what you're doing because you can't all of a sudden after 2 years of making food content, be like, yeah, I'm going to start making content about like the Boston Celtics. Mm-hmm. That ain't going to work. So just make sure you really like what you're doing. But I think there's too many people right now that are doing it because they see the dollar signs.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come that fast. And for some people, it doesn't come at all.
This is, I think, a fantastic final note. And for folks who, for some reason, aren't hip to the majestic KingSchratz, where can people find you and what's the handle?
My handle on everything is KingSchratz.
It's KingSchratz.
Yeah, it's every single thing. And it was my AOL screen name.
You were on this earlier.
Wow.
And now we've got more KingSchratz as well.
Yes, the second channel on YouTube is more KingSchratz. The KingSchratz thing came from my coach, when I was in high school. Basically, he didn't let us wear headbands. And I decided one day that I said, fuck it, I'm going to go outside and wear a headband and practice. And my coach said, hey, LeBron, take the headband off. And I said, no, I'm KingSchratz. And I basically made a bet with him, the coach. I said, if I play bad this practice, I'll never ask you to wear a headband again. And I turned into like fucking prime LeBron James that practice. And we ended up allowing us to wear headbands. We ended up going all the way to state playing basketball, but the name stuck. So it's my AOL name. It's my Instagram name when I just made it. If you look in my high school yearbook, I actually have a wristband on that says KingSchratz, my arm.
No shit.
Hell yeah.
And I wore it when I went to college, that same wristband. So my teammates in college didn't like that. You know what I mean? Because like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? So they started mockingly calling me KingSchratz.
And then it sticks after that.
And then it stuck, but after a while, it was like, I mean, he's all right, though. You know what I mean? So it just kind of became a thing. So, yeah, the KingSchratz thing just became, it just was a natural what it was. And then all of a sudden, my KingSchratz, where I was just making shit post memes on Instagram, turned into a content page. That's why I think a lot more people have, like, cooler names than me, because, like, they made these specifically for, like, content. They made the pages for it.
Snack with Zach.
You saw it. My YouTube page was made in 2006. It's KingSchratz. I never changed it. And I made no videos until like 2017.